shit that like Kanye would like make up and make people walk down a runway and be like, yep, fashion, this is it. Look how freaking legit this looks. Oh no, no. And we have sleeves. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Before we get into today's video, I would love if you guys would go ahead and give this channel a subscribe. We are so close to 2 mil and that is a major life goal for this year. So if you enjoy our content, I'm sure you've seen our videos before and would love to help us out. Would love that so much. Okay, so what are we doing today? So, seeing as we all sort of have this time, I thought I would use some of it to try and up my skill level. Something I can't say I've really done fully is sew items from scratch. Maybe like home goods items, and I've definitely done my fair share of upcycling pieces from the thrift store, but as for making clothing from scratch, I feel two polar feelings for it. I get really excited because a lot of the fashion that excites me is not stuff that's easily available in most stores. But on the other hand, I get really scared and nervous because it's a really big project, and the thought of doing that and succeeding makes me a little bit intimidated, I'll be honest. So I thought, in the spirit of learning, since that's what we love to do on this channel, I would attempt to sew a clothing item from scratch with you today and hopefully break it down into steps that feel approachable and easy, and you come away feeling like you can maybe tackle something like this too. So what I want to make today, I think an easy enough piece to start with making from scratch is a kimono slash long blazer cardigan thing. So a while ago, way before anything went down, I was in the fabric store looking for items for another DIY, and I found this fabric. I think there's a vlog clip of it. If there is, I'll insert it. And it's like this, I guess it's snake print, but it's in this beautiful orange, burnt orange color, and like the texture of it is so soft and silky. And when I just saw it, I didn't know what I needed to make with it, but I know I needed to have it and make something with it because it's just like, I don't know, I feel like it's the most me fabric right now. I love clothing that's like so soft and comfortable to wear, but also has like cool color or print, and I picked this up. And I sort of had the loose idea of maybe I can make a cardigan thing out of it, shawl. There's so many words for this clothing item. And alas, here we are many a month later, and I still have it, and I have some trim I bought along with it, and today we're gonna try and do the thing with it. Where to begin? I think the most easy and approachable way to start a project like this is to consult the experts. And the experts in my life are clothing pieces that have already been made. So let me go grab something from my closet. This is a little kimono that came from Target, and I really like the fit of it. If I was gonna make one of my own, I think the one thing I would change is make the sleeves longer and maybe actually a bit more fitted instead of flowy. But what I wanna do is just take a look at how this is made and see if I can maybe make a pattern off of this and alter it a little bit, so I'm not just like jumping into this without having a plan. So I guess let's get to pattern making. Okay, I have this craft paper and a sock and a dog. Friend, we can't make this a joke every video that you come in. It's losing its appeal. Okay, go sit over there. Please. No, not here. Oh my god. Oh, Danny. So I'm gonna start with the body of it and figure out the sleeves after. So it's helpful to take a look at how the piece is constructed already. So at the shoulders, there is like a stitch here. So that means it's two separate pieces. So I'm gonna draw them out in those different pieces. So anywhere that you can see there's been a cut and a stitch on the fabric, that's where you wanna draw a line on your pattern. Okay. Now we trace. The good thing about doing a looser garment like this to start as your first piece is it's like much more forgiving than something that's a very like form-fitted piece of clothing. I'm gonna duplicate this piece because the two front panels are just the same and cut these out. And then I'm gonna do my best to trace around all of the other pieces of this as well and cut those out too. So we're gonna have a paper version of what the final thing is gonna look like. And that way we can make adjustments on that. It's much better to go through paper scraps than it is to use up your fabric if you make mistakes. Now the sleeves are tricky because they're a rounded object, but on these sleeves there's like one hem on the bottom that's kind of closing up the circle shape. So what I'm gonna do is just trace out the one side, and then it should be the exact same pattern, just reversed, which when we like close it up will make the rounded sleeve. Now I know I want to adjust the sleeve a little bit on my version, but I'm just gonna start with tracing this one and then alter it after onto the paper. This is like the armpit area of the sleeve, but I want mine to be longer and not so flowy. So instead of it curving down the way it does normally, I'm gonna just make it go straight. So we got something that looks like this, which when we go to sew it up together, we'll make a sleeve. This is the armpit side, this is the hand side. I am not gonna make two of these because I don't need to try it on. I'll just make sure one arm's good and then repeat the same pattern on the other side. Waste not, want not. So all of my different pattern pieces are cut out onto this paper. So what I think I'm gonna do is just use some sewing pins to actually pin the paper together and try and put it on and see how I like the fit and then alter it from there. I feel like this is what real sewing people do, right? I've watched so much Project Runway in my life. I know they do it out of muslin, I believe that's what it's called, which is like very inexpensive fabric, but my muslin today is craft paper. Okay. Are you guys ready for this moment of truth? My paper garment is gonna be put to the test. This is the noisiest thing, I'm sorry. Oh shoot, did you hear that rip? Something ripped. What's ripping? Oh no. Well, besides the fact that it's like really stiff and I kind of ripped the back a little bit, I think it's pretty good. Oh man, this is so funny. Okay, no, but fit aside, it fits pretty well. The only thing I want to do, I think, I'm sorry, I cannot talk without this crinkling like mad, is maybe make the arm a little bit less baggy. I don't want it to be fitted because the rest of it won't be, but I just don't want it to be like the really big sleeves. I have some pieces like that and I'd like something a little different. So I can just trim it to be a little smaller, but I'm gonna put a pin in it right now before I forget. With that being said, I can now disassemble my paper pattern and start tracing all these pieces onto the real fabric. Okay, all of my pieces are now cut out, and I think that's the hardest part in any sewing project ever, is just getting all of your pieces cut out into the right shapes. And once you have that done, it's just on to assembling. Before I can put all the pieces together to make one item, there is two pieces that need to get assembled first, and that is the sleeves. They're like an open circle right now. We need to close the tube to make the sleeve shape, so I'm gonna start with that first. And I am taking note from how my original inspo piece was assembled, and it's actually all done with a very simple straight stitch, and then the raw edges are finished after. So that's great, because that's the easiest thing to do. If you're just starting sewing, the straight stitch is so basic on the sewing machine, and you really can't go wrong. And I just do a couple of forward and backward stitches to get it started to hold. It's kind of like a knot alternative. Okay, let's see if she worked. Sleeve? Let's flip it inside out. Oh my god. Fun! Okay, I'm gonna do the second sleeve and see you when that's done. Sleeves are done. You know how like vests without sleeves are a thing? What about sleeves without vests? These can chill for a sec, and I am going to assemble, I guess, the vest part of this piece. So remember how it was a back piece, 2 front pieces, and then there was a seam on the shoulder? I'm gonna do the 2 shoulder seams first, so it'll be like a vest with open sides, and then I'll sew the sides together. I say it like it's just so easy. We have vest panel 1, vest panel 2, and then the back piece. Attach this part together right now. To the close-up cam. To the window. Whoa. To the close-up cam for y'all. Okay, upon review, I think I made the front panels too wide. As you can see, like the space for the neck to go is only like 2 inches, which is not right. So I'm gonna trim both sides down a little bit. This is learning, everybody. You live and you learn. And here's the piece I cut. I'm just gonna fold it over on the other side to make sure I cut the same amount off. Okay, that looks like a much better sized neck hole. Can resume sewing the top shoulders together. Okay, what I learned from doing the sleeves is because this material is so fine and like silky, the sewing machine can actually overpower it and pull the fabric tighter than you want it to. So it's helpful to have like a grip on it at the end here, just a little bit, to keep it straight and not bunched up while you're sewing. Hands kind of covering it, but I'm like pulling it down a little bit so that it stays straight. Okay. One shoulder, donezo. Okay, so what I need to do now, we are looking good, giving me Tiger King realness, although it's snake pattern, is sew up the sides. And the one thing to make sure is that the hole I leave is the right distance for the sleeves we made. So this is the sleeve, and it goes down to here. Can you see this? Okay, yeah, see the little peak here of where the sleeve ends? That is where I need to start closing up the body of this. So sleeve ends there. Sewing needs to start right here and go down to close up this gap. Nailed it. We got this, guys. This is manageable. Small baby straight stitches repeated over and over will give us something we can wear and look good in. Okay, this is probably now what's going to be the trickiest part of this whole thing, adding the sleeves, and even then I'm hoping it won't be too difficult because everything should line up nicely. So, got sleeve 1 and sleeve 2 and our middle piece. Okay, so since we're working with this whole thing sort of inside out right now, what I think I need to do is continue that theme by putting the sleeve inside and pinning it that way. That way when we flip it inside out, the sleeve will also come out and be the right way around. So, opening the little front piece here, I'm gonna take the pointy end of the sleeve that we have. I know it's a lot of print on print to see what's going on, but the pointy end of the sleeve, I'm gonna tuck it in to where the armhole is. So now the sleeve is like sticking out of the hole, and what I need to do is just line up the edge of the seam with the edge of the body piece and just pin it all the way in a circle, and that will sew up the arm. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping, because sometimes things seem too easy. Like this seems really simple. Like I thought arms and sleeves were difficult, but I'm feeling confident about this and it doesn't seem so hard. So that's what I'm gonna do. Pin all the way in a circle and then sew it on. Wish me luck. Actually, it's not luck. I shouldn't say that. I like put myself down as a DIYer sometimes. Like, it's not luck. It's like practice and skill and patience and being creative and taking the time to learn new things, which makes me better at them. And it's not luck anymore. A social distancing pep talk brought to you by me. Okay, I'm gonna start at the little pointy end here just because that's the one part that's kind of gotta line up the best. I think. Yeah, starting at the bottom of the armpit and then the top is the easiest way to get it kind of even before you go all the way around. Okay, I'm just gonna test this. When I flip it inside out and flip this inside out, oh no, hold on. Oh no. Oh no. I have my two different sides of my fabric showing and that's not right at all. How do I fix this? Where am I? I'm so lost. See, when I said it was too easy to be true, it was. Back to ground one, stage one, step one, ground zero, I don't know. Oh no. I'm gonna come back when I figured this out. Okay, I figured out what I did wrong, and I might as well explain it to you in case you are sort of following along and want to do this too and don't fall into the same trap. So what happened was, because I was working inside out on this whole thing, I naturally thought the sleeve needed to be the wrong way around too. But alas, because the sleeve is going inside, it needs to be the right way around for this step, because I'm pinning it to the underside. So in theory, the two right sides do line up. So when you're pinning the sleeve to the body of the piece, and the body of the piece is the wrong way around, you want the sleeve to be the right way around. Okay, I'm basically just gonna do what I did before, but fixed. Yes, sweet, this works. So now all I have to do is just sew in a circle the exact same way I pinned that on both sides, and we have sleeves. We have a sleeve and I'm so excited, and it works, and there's no holes, and this looks kind of awesome. Oh my god, sewing queen who? Oh my god. Guys! Holy crap. This like is a thing with arms that look like proper. This is insane. Like, it's so good and it's not even finished. Wow. Wow. All right, we are looking good, moving along. Things are going well for me, but I just realized things might not be going so well for me. So, you might be wondering why I haven't talked about hemming any of this properly. So all the raw edges are just kind of like chilling, and I had a plan for this. Don't worry. I was trying to make this project as easy and manageable for myself as possible, so I didn't get frustrated and discouraged because I wanted to finish this one. So at the time of buying supplies, I didn't really think through exactly what I needed. I just was picking up stuff that I thought would be useful. I picked up this stuff. It is ribbon that's folded in half. Can you see that? So it acts as like a little cover shield to go over raw edges. It's a nice way to cover everything, make it look finished and beautiful without having to worry too much about getting your seam perfectly straight, because this is already ironed in a nice straight line. And I saw this product and I thought, oh gee, this looks like the product for me. Becky's ribbon tape. Oh gee, the product for me. I thought this would be great, because trying to hem something that's this silky delicate seems really difficult. And plus, this is just a fun gold accent trim to add all the way around the piece. But I don't know where I came up with the measurement of how much I'm gonna need, but this ain't it, sis. This is all I have, and if I want to do what I plan to do, I wanted to have it go, you know, around the whole front part of the robe, around the sleeves, and around the bottom. But I only have enough here to do the front opening. Can you see it only goes to about here? So this is not nearly gonna be enough to do the front, the sleeves, and the bottom. So what I think I'll do, since this one long piece is like pretty much the right length to do the front, I'm gonna sew it onto the front just to see if that even works as the product I thought it would work. And then should that work and I like it, I think I might just wait until this is over and Fabricland is open again to go back and purchase more to complete it. Let's take it to the floor. Okay, I'm gonna find the center of this ribbon, which is here. Okay, so all you need to do is kind of open the half ribbon and sandwich your raw hem into it. And then you can close it over it and then pin it, and then that will beautifully hide anything raw under there. Help it from not fraying so much. And all you have to do is just do another, we love, straight stitch right along the edge. And I'm hoping the color I have matches this well enough that you will never even see it. So I'm gonna go and pin this all the way down the front and sew it on. I do also want to say I realize there is a chance that this is not what this product is made for. Don't know exactly what it's made for, but I feel like it will do what I want it to do, and therefore that's good with me. Okay. This is looking so good, right? This is giving me visions of, like, I don't know what the right reference is, but when like boxers go into a boxing ring and they wear like robes like this and they're really shiny. I don't know. What would my fighter character name be? Tell me below. It's really unfortunate that I don't have enough of this to do the sleeves and the rest, but I am gonna sew on this piece since I have it in place. I'm just going very slow with it and just making sure to check all the time that everything is still in line. Something I sort of just realized pretty late into my sewing journey in life is that the speed at which you press the pedal has no effect on, or should have no effect on, how your stitches come out. So I used to feel pressured that I had to press the pedal super fast or else my stitches would be like uneven, like the width of them would be like, I thought that fast pedal meant tighter stitches. Not the case, especially not on my sewing machine. It's all in the settings. It's just whether how fast the fabric goes through or not. So there's no need to rush at all. Go as slow as you want and make sure your stitches are even and like you are in control. That is the best thing to do. Okay, so my trim is now all the way around the front. Can you see it? Something happened around the back of the neck and I'm not really sure. It got a little bunchy. I just kind of went with it and now it looks like this. I don't know. See how it got all foldy here? It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be nice and smooth like everywhere else. But I mean, whatever. Are we that mad? No, we're not. Not my finest work, I gotta be honest. It's at the back of the neck, which I feel like you won't see as much as other parts, so if it was gonna happen somewhere, probably the best place for it to be. So the garment is assembled, the trim is around the front, we know what we're doing. I just said garment, who am I? Project with me. Are you casting? We have the trim around the front, we know what we're doing with the trim on the sleeves and the bottom when I can get more of that. So the only thing, the very last thing we have to tackle is what am I gonna do with the raw seams on the inside? Like what are we gonna do about the seams around the arm and such that will fray over time? So what you would do in the real world in a proper scenario is use a thing called a serger, which cleans up and like coats those raw edges with stitches, but I don't have one of those and maybe you don't either. So don't worry, I'm gonna teach you, as the youth say, how to... Oh my god, I literally forgot the saying. I am gonna teach you how to, as the youth say, fake it until you make it with a regular sewing machine. So come on in for a closer look. So your sewing machine likely has different options like this, different stitches you can do. We are just rocking with the straight stitch here, but what we want to do is switch it to a zigzag stitch. So let me figure out how to do that. Okay, sweet. We're gonna do a little hack by having the zigzag come off the side of the hem, and that's gonna gather the raw edge in very nicely. Okay, so this is the very raw inside edge that is guaranteed to fray over time, so we're gonna solve that right now by having the zigzag stitch go 1 on the fabric and then 2 off the fabric. On, off, on, off. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And as you can see, it is nicely tucking in the edges and kind of wrapping them all in a stitch, which will in the long term help it to last a lot longer and not fray so easily, since it's tucking all those raw seams in under this little zigzaggy stitch. So I'm gonna do that for all of the rest of the raw edges, and I'll see you when I'm done. Guys, look how freaking legit this looks. This is like the arm seam. I'm just showing you a little bit so you can get a sense, but like that zigzag stitch just took this from like homemade project to maybe Forever 21 quality. Am I selling myself short here? I don't know, but this is looking so good. Ah! All right, you guys, this is where I'm gonna leave my project today. Here is how it has turned out, minus the extra trim. So please make sure you're following both my Instagram and Asario's Instagram to see the final product when I can finish this piece. But can I just say I am so proud of myself, and I would love to keep learning and trying out new things on this channel. If there's more things you want to see me try or make, please leave suggestions below in the comments. And I encourage you guys to all go out there and try skills that you haven't done before, because the only way we're gonna get better is if we keep practicing and trying and DIYing our little hearts out. So thanks so much, guys.